So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get like a really pigmented and bright eye color. Like I've seen around Instagram, like there's a few makeup artists out there who get their colors extremely pigmented and it looks super duper awesome. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. So as you can see, I've already done my brows and a bit of my concealer, but if we really want to make it really pigmented and really stand out, you're definitely going to want to pack a little bit more concealer on your eyes than you usually would. And I'd use a shade that's a little bit probably too light for you. And so after you've like concealed and cleaned up your brows, I'd pack on some more concealer. It's a little bit lighter. And blend that out using a brush and not a beauty blender, because a beauty blender will absorb some of that product, which is not what we want. Kind of want to keep it really thick and bright in there. So I'm just going to blend that out using this brush. And then once it's all blended with the brush, I am going to dab just a little tiny bit with the beauty blender just to make it a little bit even, because it's hard to get the layer of concealer even. Like I'm patting really lightly with this beauty blender because I don't want it to absorb too much of that concealer. And we are not going to set the concealer. Alright, so now that that concealer's blend in and we've got quite a decent thick layer on, we're going to go straight into the shadows. So if you're wanting to be a little bit more sort of creative and get yourself into exploring some more colours, a eyeshadow palette that I would definitely recommend that's affordable and has a huge range of colours is the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Has like a huge range of colours in it and it's super duper affordable. So that would be your best bet for a palette, and that's what we're going to use today. Okay, so the first colour we're going to go into is a yellow, and I'd recommend getting a really nice big fluffy brush for this. That's probably your best bet. And we're going to go for this yellow here. Actually no, we'll go for this yellow here. And we're really going to get our brush in there. Like we want to get a lot of product on that brush. And we're going to put this just in our inner sort of crease in this area here. So yeah, we're gonna go just in this area here and put that yellow there. Now as you can see a bit of color coming through, and a fluffy brush like this is not gonna like make it super there. So what you're gonna want to do is get heaps on the brush, and we're just gonna start off by packing it there and sort of setting the concealer as well. This will also avoid it from getting patchy, because the concealer is not set and sometimes shadows will go patchy. But if you set that area with the colour first before trying to do any blending, it will come together super nice. So once that colour's like packed down there, I'm going to just start to blend it just in that inner crease area. We don't want to pull this colour too far, but what we do want is to make it super pigmented. So we're going to keep going into the palette, in and out of the palette, packing and then blending. So I like to go into the palette, pack it, into the palette, blend it. And you're just going to repeat that process a few times before you get the desired pigment you want and blend. So we've got this yellow coming through pretty bright now. So now that's come through bright, we do want to give it just a good blend. So it's not really about packing on colour anymore, it's more sort of just blending this colour out. And for some people it's going to be harder to make a look like this because it depends on the space of your eyes, and I also have hooded eyes, so any cut crease I'm going to do is going to be lifted up higher because of my hooded eyes, if that makes sense. So once that yellow is pigmented and blended, we're going to move on to the next colour, which is an orange. So just on the same fluffy brush, it's okay if it's still got a bit of yellow shadow on it because it is going to make it blend in easy. We're going to go in with an orange shade, and I want this to be a kind of deeper orange shade, and it's the only colour where the kind of BH Cosmetic palette falls a little bit. The two oranges, it does have a quite bright and neon, which is not really what we're going for, so we're going to go for a sort of deeper orange. So for that orange colour, I'm going to go in with Blazing from the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, which is a bit more of a subtle orange. And just on the same brush, I'm just going to grab some of that, and the same technique, I'm just going to pack it on before blending it. Make sure when you pack it too that you don't want to bring it too high, because we don't want to blend into our eyebrows. And then once it's packed on, we're just going to go put a little bit more on our brush and let's just go in and blend that all out. I'm going to use a really light hand because we don't want this orange to go too far, but we do want it to blend in nice and smooth. And we're doing sort of the same crease region as we did the yellow, but sort of more in the center of the eye. And I'm just using a really extremely light hand to get it to blend out. And as you can see, we've got a nice blend going there. So I'm just going to go and do the other eye. And because this look has to be extremely pigmented, once I've got a good blend going, I am going to pack more on top of that and just repeat the exact same process. It's the best way to get the best amount of pigment on your lid. And don't worry if you get some on your eyelid here. It's bound to happen, and we're going to clean that area up with concealer later anyways. So don't be too cautious. The only area you have to be cautious of is going too far up, which is not what you want. You want to keep nice and low. Okay, so I'd say that's really nicely blended out. So we're going to move on to the next color. So keeping the same brush, we're going to move on to a sort of purpley magenta color. And for this color, I'm going to take the classic Modern Renaissance palette, and we're going to go into Love Letter just on the outer corner. Now, depending on what kind of style you want to go for, you can really decide to wing this out, or you can sort of keep it more in. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit more in than wing it out. And once again, with this shade, we're also repeating the same process of packing and then blending. And the thing you have to be mindful with when using this shade is because it's the darkest shade we'll be using on our outer corner. We don't want to bring it in too much because it will make our whole lid sort of too dark. We really just want to maintain it in this outer eye area. And also don't worry about, unless you are trying to wing it out, don't worry about it not being blended on this edge here, because we're going to go in with a makeup wipe and clean that up anyways. What you want to be blended is sort of the top area here and where it crosses over between the orange and the purple. So sort of like that. And it does look crazy because this outer edge part is not really blended in, but you'll see it all come together once I just clean it up a little. So once we have all these three colours blended fairly nicely, other than this area sort of here, we can go into cutting the crease. And because we're going to cut the crease and then apply what we want to be a super pigmented colour over the top, we want to pack on a little bit more concealer than we normally would and not set it with any other powder other than the eyeshadow we put over the top. And if you have hooded eyes like me, it's going to be slightly more of a difficult process. So as you can see right now, I'm not really blending the concealer, but more sort of packing it on in the same area. And we don't want to bring this concealer all the way to the end of our lid because we're going to bring that same purple in on the edge. And if you do have hooded lids, the process I'm doing right now is just cutting a little bit higher so that it won't transfer. You can also do a different technique when you powder on, look up, and it will transfer to the line of your crease, but I prefer to sort of just bring it up naturally with the brush, just like that. That's about how thick I want my cut crease to be. And then when I'm pretty confident on the area I've placed the concealer, I'm going to go in with a little bit more and no blending, just pack it on. Just like that. And then now we're going to go in with the shadow we're going to put on top. And the shadow we're going to put on top is from the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. And we're going to go in with this light blue up here called Zola. And for right now, I'm going to take it on a dry flat brush and just put it in that area we've cut and also where the yellow is. And we're sort of more packing it on, not really moving it around too much, just packing it. So as you can see, when you really pack it on, you get a lot of pigment out of it. And then with the remains that are on my brush, I'm gonna drag it across a little so that the next color blends in more easily with this color. Once we're happy with that light blue shadow, we're We're then going to move on to a sort of darker blue shadow, and for that we're going to go into Dahlia, same from the Juvia's Place palette. It's just a little bit of a darker blue, and on the same brush we used to put that light blue on, and the same technique, and we want to keep that directly below the orange shade that we put down earlier. So as you can see, it's sort of packed on, and then I'm going to blend out the sides. So the camera just ran out of space, which is cool. I don't know how much you saw, but we're about to put lashes on. The good thing about these lashes is that they have a really thick band, which means really easy to put on. Well, not really easy. Lashes are never easy to put on, but like more easy. So I'm just trying to size them up, but they look pretty good. They look like my size. Oh, I could cut like one bit off, I guess. Best thing to cut lashes: scissors, no. Knives, no. Why would you use a knife? Anything else? No. Good big pair of nail clippers? Yes. Measure easily and you can just snip them off. Voila. Easy. Okay, gotta put some glue on this bad boy. Glue is on. I'm really impatient and I never let them dry till they're, you know, supposed to be, what is it? A little bit sticky? No. I put them on soaking wet. How cute are these lashes? These are super fluffy and super cute. In love. So as you can see, it makes a huge difference. And you know that if you watch makeup videos, that you can always tell how much of a difference it makes with lash or no lash. So I always struggle with putting lashes on, so it literally takes me about half an hour to get them on. But I got these on, not really, like what's going on there. It's really hard to get the inner corners to stick. You know what, this is how the lashes are going today. So once you've given like a minute for those lashes to dry, probably longer, but all I can wait is a minute, you're going to want to put some mascara on, and not necessarily put them over the false lash eyelashes, but your natural ones, because my natural ones at the moment are covered in blue shadow, so it's like really noticeable. So you're just going to go on the bottom. You're not going to like go all the way up to top because these lashes are thick enough as it is. Alright, so now that the mascara is on, we're going to clean up under the eyes. Sorry, it just sounded like I was crying, but I wasn't. It's just like some eyelash or something was poking me in the eye and it was really uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm just gonna get a makeup wipe and let it just go like that. So now I'm going to do my foundation, concealer and contour all off camera because that's not really the point of the video. And I'll come back and we'll finish off under the eyes and we'll do our highlighter together.